Peace to the earth and the world, peace to everybody, and peace to earth. One love, just to let you know. How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good, staying out of trouble, doing the right thing, trying to have fun with your kids, and don't get yourself into trouble. Remember, when you get into trouble, you always get problems. You wind up in a hospital, losing your friends, going to jail, or getting killed. Just to let you know, I'm just looking out for you. But I got something to tell you about your job. You ever heard of this thing called AI? Well, AI is going to take over a lot of job businesses. AI. It's this company called AI, belongs to the billionaires or the cillionaires. And these are like robots and computers and all these things. It's going to take mankind's job. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take their job. Regardless what you say or whatever, in a couple of years, a lot of people is going to be losing their job in the United States of America, or they're working in companies and everything, because these robots, they don't die and they don't get tired and they don't complain like a lot of y'all doing, complaining. That's why a lot of things are happening, because y'all complaining about everything. You're not working and doing what you got to do for yourself with your money. And that's why a lot of people want to change things around and get these AI robots and everything, droids and everything, because nobody is not doing what they're supposed to do. All they're doing is complaining. And I'm not sorry to tell you. I'm not trying to, tell you wrong. I'm just letting you know how it is. But these robots are going to take over your job, like FedEx, all these type of jobs, delivery jobs. They're going to have droids doing it. They're going to be in the company working and everything. You know what I'm saying? So just to let you know what's going on. That's why some of these businesses, some of these big businesses are losing out on money, because a lot of people they're getting stuff delivered now. They go online, they look at what they want to buy, and they get it delivered to their house. They don't have to go to the store. You could even go to the supermarket online and buy what you want, what type of food you want, and everything. That's why mostly all these businesses are running out of business, because everybody is doing everything through delivery online. They're not really going to, a lot of people's not going to the supermarkets. A lot of people's not going to buy what they need no more, because all they got to do is go online. You know what I'm saying? And they could buy what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like the computers, like your phone. You can go on your phone and go online and buy what you want. You know what I'm saying? And everything. These robots are going to take over mostly a lot of jobs. You know what I'm saying? And these robots, what they're going to do is they're going to take your job. And they're going to eliminate the working people. You know what I'm saying? So when they eliminate the working people, what I want to know is how the working people is going to be making money in the United States of America, especially the low income and the low middle class. How they going to get jobs with these robots? You know what I'm saying? These new AI computer robots are going to take over their job. Are they going to pay taxes and help the poor and the low middle class income to get money for they could get a job? Or they don't get a job, how are they going to make money to survive? How are they going to get money to eat? How are they going to get money to drink? How are they going to get money to feed their kids and everything? So these robots, they have to pay taxes to at least help the low income, the poor and the poor middle class, to at least for they could eat and survive and get a roof over their heads. And for anything, these robots, you know what I'm saying, they never get tired. You know what I'm saying? They never get tired, they never get sick. The most that could happen to them is break down, and they call somebody, they fix them up, and they start working again, doing the same thing. But they're gonna take over humans' job in the United States of America, and that's what these billionaires are going over there to China for. They're making a plan. The president, Donald Trump, and all of them, they're making a plan to make everything digital. Robots, working in big companies that's taking over man's job, a human being's job. And how that person is going to survive, I don't know. The most they could do is put them robots to work and they could pay the taxes to help a lot of people from that belongs to the United States of America that need help and need funding because they can't afford nothing, and they can't hardly get a place to live and get food and all that. How they gonna survive? So what you're saying is the billionaires are gonna let the poor die. They're gonna let the poor middle class die, and just let us die out and let the robots take over while y'all getting more money than ever, getting richer and richer and everything, while us poor people gotta suffer and struggle and die. How we gonna eat? We need these robots. Are they gonna work at least to pay? They have to like help the taxes for they could at least do control for the poor, for some of the poor people to survive. You know what I'm saying? Because they work and they take over human beings' job in the United States of America. How much do a lot of human beings are gonna eat? Where they gonna sleep at? They can't afford a roof over their head and nothing. All these robots and droids and everything take over man's job, a human being's job. You have to come up with a way that the robots could work and the droids could work, and the poor humans and the ones that can't afford nothing and really are struggling, they get help. So the robots, like in a way, the robots gonna have to pay taxes. The whatever the AI, they could pay the taxes for the poor, and then all we gotta do is do what we gotta do. We can survive. We can eat. Our young kids can eat. They could go to school, maybe learn about electronic, because that's what's going on nowadays. You gotta learn about electronic. You gotta learn how to fix computers. You gotta learn how to work with wires and all that, because everything is turning into electronic. It's not gonna turn into nothing else. Robots are taking over. You know what I'm saying? Droids are taking over your job. Everything. They're taking over your job. No matter what you say in 5 years or whatever. They're gonna take over your job. They're doing the deliveries already. They're doing a lot of things. They got some robots already working in companies, and they're doing very good, and they're more faster than the humans and everything. The most they could do, they're gonna have the robots take over and all these droids doing all these things. You know what I'm saying? And making the billionaire richer. At least, they should pay taxes and help. To pay the poor people, like to help the poor people, not pay them, but at least to help them, for they could survive, to drink water and to eat, and to find a roof over their head. You just can't let us die, just throw us out in the street with our family and everything. I know a lot of Democrats messed up, and I know a lot of people messed up, but we are humans. You know what I'm saying? Or the droids and the robots are gonna take over jobs and everything. These computers are gonna take over these jobs. Who's gonna help the low income? Who's gonna help the ones that don't got jobs? That they lost their job over a robot. Who's gonna help them with their family and everything? They gotta suffer more. So basically, you're telling the United States of America that all the poor people and all the poor middle class could go ahead and die with all these robots, because you're not coming up with a plan for us poor people that don't hardly got nothing. How can they survive while all these robots take over our jobs? That's what I'm saying. And I know illegal aliens come over here and they work, and they say that they working better than the American. But I understand that's some of the reason why you are getting these droids and all these things to take over human beings' job. But still, you got a lot of Americans that do good things here, and they're poor and they really don't got nothing, and they need help with apartments, they need help with food. You know what I'm saying? They need help with a lot of stuff. That's what I'm saying. Why you don't have these robots, at least so they're working and they don't die out, they don't get tired and nothing, they don't complain, help us pay our taxes, for us to survive, for us low income poor people and poor middle class people and all that is in need, that need help. You know what I mean? At least they could help us survive and help us pay the taxes, and I think that's right. I mean, you like this idea, that's up to you, but These robots, these droids and robots and computers and all that, they taking over. They're gonna take over your job. They're gonna take over everything. They know how to cook. They know how to do a lot of things, bro. So you know what I'm saying? They program to do what they need to do, and they don't complain. They don't do nothing. They just work. They don't get sick. They don't get nothing. They just go to work. And if they break down, they call an electrician or somebody that know how to work with computers or robots. They fix them up and they keep working. And that's it. So, you know, us humans are in trouble a little bit, especially the poor, and the poor middle class. They're in trouble because it's your job that they're gonna take over. And mostly they're complaining about all these businesses and everything. You know what I'm saying? And car lots that they're not selling and all this thing. It's because they got cars that go to your house. You buy them online and they go straight to your house by themselves. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you have to think what you're doing. You over here fighting because your businesses are running down. It's because the computers are taking over now. That's why everything's getting low, because everybody's going online. You know, they buying their products online. They buying everything online. Their car, everything. Their sneakers, everything. The food, whatever they want. All they gotta do is go online, and they get it delivered to their house. That's what's going on. And the droids are gonna be delivering all these stuff that they got ordered from the computer, from online. Just to let you know. I'm gonna let you go with that one. One love for you. Peace to the earth and the world. Peace to everybody and peace to earth. I see you later, Crocodile. One love for you, Doc. Love y'all for life. And take it easy. One. Make sure you get something to eat, something to drink. And if you don't have nothing, ask somebody. You never know what you can get around out there, and you might could get a job. One love for you. Bye. See you later. Smoking a blunt today's Saturday. Bye-bye.